This is the MC-100 system. It's very easy to set up. Let's go through the explanation of the buttons first. This is the source button. This button right over here is the brightness button. It can also be used as the on and off button if it's held down for about 2 seconds. This is an up and a down, which is used basically with all of the sliders. The left and right is how you select the slider. Note there is a green arrow. If I go to select the next one, it now has the green arrow on it. Last but not least is the mute button down here, and you'll note that the mute turns red and goes back to green when it's unmuted. And the TX button is used for the FRS interface. We're going to go through setting up the sources right now, and the very first thing we're going to do is assign names to them. So we're going to press the source button, which takes us into the setup area, and you'll notice each one of the 3 sources are called aux1, aux2, and aux3. This is the same nomenclature that's used on the MC-100, the 3 inputs. We're going to push the setup button, and we're going to go into source icons, and we know on this particular system that the GPS is on auxiliary 1. If you're going to use a GPS, it should always be on aux1. By pressing it once, it goes to GPS. On aux2, we have an XM radio, so we're going to press it until we get to XM radio. In aux3, we have an iPod, and we'll select the iPod icon. There. Okay, that is complete. Now you'll note when we go back, each one of those shows an icon that associates with what it's connected to. Now, the next thing we do is we're going to set up the radio first, and we're going to select the radio by selecting radio. Okay, then we'll go back to the source screen and we'll select the radio itself. The radio has generic controls on it. It goes on FM or weather band by pressing the band button, and it'll go 1 channel up or 1 channel down by pressing the single arrows. The double arrows will go to the next channel that is coming in strong enough to be detected. We're going to do this and put it on a channel that we like. Okay, and you'll note there's a signal strength bar up at the top here. It tells you how well that's coming in. If we wanted to set this as a preset, we could take one of the numbers here and hold it for about 4 seconds, and there, now it says preset number 5. And so anytime we press the number 5 when we come into the FM screen, it will automatically select preset number 5, which in this case is 106.9. Okay, now we're going to go back to the source menu by pressing the source button. Now we have the radio on. You'll notice a very small icon here that shows the radio, so it gives you an indication that the radio is on. We will then set the volume by pressing the arrow up or down to what is a comfortable listening volume level to you. Since this is the only source that's inside the unit, we use it as a master, that all the other volumes will be set similar to it, so that when you change from one to the others, there won't be a large jump in music sound level. Now prior to this, it would be best if you turned on all your devices, your MP3 player, your XM radio, whatever's connected to it, turn them all on and set them to about 3/4 volume. After that's completed, we'll go back to the source menu. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the radio off and turn the GPS on. Okay, music from the GPS should start coming through the earphones. Now we go to setup, and we're going to select input volumes. Okay, since the GPS is hooked to aux1, we will use this by pressing down here to lower or to raise the level so it matches approximately what the radio did. When you've finished with that, then press the source button again, go back, turn the GPS off, turn your XM radio or whatever device is connected to that particular one, because that associates with aux2. We'll go back to setup, we'll do input volumes again, and adjust the slider that associates with it until it's at the same level. You would do the same thing for the third device if you have a third device. Okay, we will exit from there. Okay, the main setup. Now, at this point we have a chance to save those settings, so in case when you're out on the road you mess them up for some reason, we can go to Setup and we can go to Settings, Save and Restore, and we're going to say Save User Settings. The screen will come back, the settings are saved. Now, if you wanted to restore those settings, you would go right back to the Setup menu and go to the Settings, Save or Restore, and Restore User Settings. The system will restart with your settings that you've saved. It'll come back playing whatever you have playing.